the Hot 100 side of things, or whether it's actually daily experiences of work or life, because it's just extraordinary.
What are you going to call your book?
La La Land, I think that's what I'm going to call it.
Next time, the workers who build Dubai, and one of the men trawling the world to find them.
How many people you are expecting there in the interview? Okay, so 600 people to interview them. That's enough, 3 days?
A practical guide to getting closer to our wildlife. Hands-on Nature continues tomorrow at 3 on BBC Two.
BBC One presents
2 gold nuggets from the bank of Puck.
1,
Never leave home without your love juice.
2.
Things aren't always what they appear to be.
I love a rough man.
They don't come much rougher.
A Midsummer Night's Dream, Shakespeare retold. Over on BBC One now.
Because of this program, some hospitals have cleaned up their act.
We haven't mopped a single toilet yet.
Because of this program, the chances of surviving childbirth in one African country have increased.
She's 3 kilo 100.
Because of this program, the Olympic movement was forced to tackle corruption in its ranks.
How many votes do you think you might be able to influence?
This program is Panorama. Find out what happened after the credits rolled. Panorama, what happened next? Sunday, 10:15, BBC One.
Bolivia has got nuclear weapons, or at least they might have. Broken News has the very latest here on BBC Two in an hour.
University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello. 28 teams qualified for this contest, and these first-round matches see us whittling them down to 16 to play in the second round. The School of Oriental and African Studies, or SOAS as it's usually known, is situated in Bloomsbury and is part of the University of London. Originally educating young people to go off and look after the empire, the rumour persists that it's the training ground for around half our spies. Its curriculum includes social sciences, law and the humanities, as well as exotic languages such as Mongolian and Xhosa. The team are convinced that no one has heard of their college, and they're appearing on this programme in the touching belief that doing so will rectify the matter. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Douglas Rennick. I'm from London and I'm studying economics.
My name's Graham Ruston. I'm from London and I'm studying history.
And their captain.
I'm Oliver Fallon. I'm from London. I'm studying Sanskrit.
My name's Michael Lambert. I'm from London and I'm reading social anthropology.
Christ College, Cambridge, dates from 1448, and so is one of the university's oldest. It's also reckoned to be one of the most beautiful. With the exception of a modern hall of such startling appearance, it's been nicknamed the Typewriter Building and is considered fit only for first-year students. Until recently, the college bar shut at 8:30 p.m. to allow for late-night swatting. But it's not all hard work. The highlight of Christ's social calendar is the summer bash, during which the Milton Debating Society stand around a mulberry tree reciting in Latin while passing a bust of the poet between them. This lot clearly know how to throw a wild party. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Robert Flint from Balmathorpe in Rutland and I'm studying history.
Hello, I'm Ian Mansfield from Thirlby in South Lincolnshire and I'm studying natural sciences.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Claire Rush. I'm from Sutton Coldfield and I'm reading engineering.
Hi, I'm Brahman Singanagam. I'm from Rochdale in Lancashire and I'm reading mathematics.
OK, usual rules, 10 points for starters, 15 for bonuses, 5 points. Penalties for incorrect interruptions to starters. Fingers on the buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. T.H. Huxley from 1883 to 85, Lord Rayleigh from 1905 to 1908, and Lord Rutherford from 1925 to 30 were the presidents of which...
SOAS Fallon.
The Royal Society of London is correct, yes. So you get the first set of bonuses. They're on first names. Alan John Percival were the first three names of which historian whose major works include The Struggle for Mastery in Europe and The Troublemakers?
Taylor.
A.G.P. Taylor's right. The Australian-born Booker Prize-winning author Peter Warren Finley is known by what pen name consisting of three initials and a surname, the initial standing for Dirty But Clean?
DBC Pierre.
Correct. Joseph Mallard William were the first names of which artist?
Turner.
Turner is right. Here is another starter question. 10 points for this. The Latin American name of what group of islands derives from a port in Brittany? Colonists from the town founded a settlement there in 1764, while the British name derives from an expedition of 1690, which named the sound that separates them after the then Treasurer of the Navy. Nope. I'll tell you it's the Malvinas or Falkland Islands. Another starter question. Graffiti removal, health spas and fair trade goods were in, and hairpaste manufacturers, potpourri and chimney cleaning machinery were out, according to the 2005 editions of what directory known by its colour?
SOAS Rennick.
The Yellow Pages?
Correct. Your bonuses are on Western music. In each case, give me the decade in which the following occurred. Firstly, which decade saw the completion of Bach's Brandenburg Concertos, the publication of Rameau's Treatise on Harmony, and the first performance of Vivaldi's The Four Seasons?
1780s?
No, it was the 1720s. Which decade saw the first performances of all of the following? Gilbert and Sullivan's Trial by Jury, Wagner's Complete Ring Cycle, and Brahms's First Symphony?
1880?
It was the 1870s. Which decade saw Schoenberg's first works based entirely on the 12-note serial technique, the first performance of Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue, and the premiere of Jerome Kern's Showboat?
1920s.
1920s is right. Another starter question. What discipline has a practitioner described as, quote, unable to tell us with certainty what is the true answer to the doubts which it raises, but is able to suggest many possibilities which enlarge...
Christ's Mansfield.
Philosophy.
Philosophy is right, as defined by Bertrand Russell. So you're off the mark and you get a set of bonuses on four-letter words. Firstly, for 5, the 1966 autobiography Life is a Four-Letter Word is a work by which author whose novel The Cruel Sea was based on his wartime experiences in the Navy?
Pass.
That was Nicholas Montserrat. Sir Peter Hall's 1968 film Work is a Four-Letter Word was adapted from A play by which dramatist born in Lancashire in 1929? Come on.
Stoppard?
No, he was born in Czechoslovakia. I think it was Henry Livings. Which Cole Porter song of 1934 includes the lyrics, good authors too, who once used better words, now only use four-letter words, writing prose?
Yeah, no, pass.
It's anything goes. 10 points for this starter question. What word derived from the Latin for white denotes the proportion of light or radiation reflected by a surface, especially of a planet or moon?
SOAS Rustum.
Albedo.
Albedo is right. Your bonuses are on particle physics, SOAS. What is the charge of an up quark?
Plus a third. Plus a third.
No, it's plus 2/3. What is the charge of a down quark?
Minus a third.
Minus a third.
Minus 1/3 is right. What is the charge of a Z boson?
Neutral.
0.
0 is correct, yes. OK, for your picture round now, we're going to have a picture starter on the British Highway Code. 10 points if you can give me the precise meaning of this sign.
Christ Singanaga.
No, anyone want to buzz from SOAS? You may not confer. One of you may buzz.
SOAS Rennick.
One way?
No, I don't think so. It means ahead only. One way, a one-way street sign is actually usually rectangular. Right, so with picture bonuses in a moment or two, here's another starter question. Born 1701, the Scottish bookseller Alexander Cruden gives his name to what standard work of reference?
SOAS Fallon.
Cruden's Concordance.
To
the Bible.
To the Bible, correct, yes. So, your bonus is now 3 more British Highway Code traffic signs, 5 points for each one you can correctly identify. Here's the first.
A warning against a pier without a barrier or a riverbank.
Riverbank is right, yes. A pier, riverbank is not the same as a pier,
sorry,
but I'll
that's what I
accept
meant,
riverbank,
that's what I
yeah. Here's the second, again, I want the precise meaning, please.
Yes.
Unprotected level crossing.
Unprotected level crossing.
Level crossing without gate or barrier is correct. And finally...
Blown out car. Danger of explosion? I don't know.
Danger exploding cars.
That is what it looks like, I agree. No, it's no vehicles carrying explosives. Right, 10 points for this starter question. In the late 16th century, what were the admiral's men, Strange's men...
SOAS Fallon.
Players, theatre troops.
Theatrical companies is correct, yes. Your bonuses are on fairy stories. Quote, it is, of course, not a fairy story. It is the presentation of facts belonging to one category in the idioms appropriate to another. To what narrative form is the philosopher Gilbert Ryle referring in these words from the concept of mind?
Myth?
Myth is right. I got disappointed in human nature as well and gave it up when I found it too much like my own. Which Irish-American wrote this in the 1960 work, Fairy Tales of New York?
P.J. O'Rourke?
No, it's J.P. Dunleavy. And finally, every time a child says, I don't believe in fairies, there is a little fairy somewhere that falls down dead. These words appear in Act 1 of what work of 1904?
Peter Pan.
Correct, 10 points for this starter question. Even in death, the man disgraced for trying to save the students in Tiananmen Square in 1989 offers a reproach to Beijing's ruling elite. To which former Chinese premier do these words refer from?
SOAS Lambert.
Wen Jiabao?
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. From an article of January 2005 by Isabel Hilton. No? No one? Any idea at Christ? It's Zhao Ziyang. 10 points for this starter question. He exists in the public mind as bits and pieces of his characters. Ben Quick's machismo, Cool Hand Luke's defiance, Harper's irony, Hud's...
Christ sing an eye
James Dean.
No, you lose 5 points. Hud's disdain. To which actor born 1920...
SOAS Lambert.
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman is correct, yes. Your bonuses are on personality cults. Firstly, for 5, a statue in the middle of the Karakum Desert and another atop his capital's largest building that rotates to face the sun are among the monuments to the ruler of which Central Asian state? You don't need to buzz, you may confer among yourselves and then answer.
Turkmenistan.
Yes, you absolutely ought to know that. Ahmadu Kuruma's novel, Waiting for the Wild Beast to Vote, is based on Gnassingbé Eyadema, ruler of which West African country until his death in February 2005?
Côte d'Ivoire?
No, it's Togo. In April 2003, the press in which country reported that when a train carrying explosives blew up, several people died trying to save portraits of their dear leader?
North Korea.
North Korea is right. Right, 10 points for this starter question. In astronomy, what is the name for the point on the celestial sphere directly above the observer's head?
Christ's Mansfield.
Meridian?
No, anyone want to buzz from SOAS?
SOAS Ruston.
Azimuth?
No, it's the zenith. Another starter question. Founded by William Morris in 1877 to counteract the practice of attempting to restore buildings to an idealized state from the distant past, what pressure group is known by the...
SOAS Rennick.
English Heritage.
No, you lose 5 points. Is known by the acronym SPAB, S-P-A-B.
Christ's Mansfield.
Society for the Protection of Ancient Buildings?
That's correct, yes. So that's storming away to 15, and your bonuses, which could get you another 15, are on ancient authors. Free, yes, but not entirely free, for they have a master which they respect much more than your subjects respect you. What is the master referred to here in these words addressed to the Persian king Xerxes by Demaratus the Spartan?
Courage.
No, it's law. That city is best to live in which those who are not wronged, no less than those who are wronged, exert themselves to punish the wrongdoers. To which ancient Greek lawgiver are these words attributed?
Diogenes?
No, it's Solon. The good of the people is the chief law. This assertion appears in De Legibus, the work of which Roman orator and statesman?
Cicero?
Cicero's right. 10 points for this starter question. Which snow-capped mountain on the border of Syria and Lebanon is traditionally regarded as the site of Christ's transfiguration? When, accompanied by the disciples Peter, James and John, the prophets Moses and Elijah appeared to him?
Christ's Mansfield.
Mount Hebron?
No, anyone want to buzz from SOAS? It's Mount Hermon. 10 points for this starter question. In the periodic classification of the elements, which compound is produced when hydrogen combines with the element in group 6, period 2?
Christ's Mansfield.
Hydrogen sulfide.
No, anyone want to buzz from SOAS?
SOAS Rennick.
H2O water.
Correct. Your bonuses are on a science, SOAS. Born 1822, which English scientist invented the weather map and was the first to apply statistical methods to scientific inquiry?
Is it Haley?
No, it was Galton, Francis Galton. The Galton board, named after Sir Francis, consists of a lattice work of pegs forming Pascal's triangle and is used for statistical experiments. By what name from the Latin for 5/12 is it also known?
What's 5/12 in Latin? Quinque dudecim. Quinque duodecodal.
No, it's quincunx. And finally, which naturalist born 1809 was Galton's cousin?
Huxley.
No, it was Charles Darwin. We're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, I'd like you please simply to tell me the title of this piece of music.
SOAS Ruston.
Floral dance.
It is the floral dance, yes. By the Brighouse and Rastic Brass Band. We're going to hear 3 more pieces of music played by brass bands, although not necessarily written for them. 5 points for the title in each case. Here's the first.
No idea. Give me a guess.
Guess yourself.
I have no idea, absolutely
It's
no idea.
Moonlight Serenade. Secondly for 5.
.633 Squadron.
Correct, yes. And finally.
Nominate Lambert.
It's not the theme tune to Dad's Army, is it?
You are completely tone deaf. No, it's not. It's the St. Louis Blues March. Right, 10 points for this starter question. Selections of what collection of early film discovered in Blackburn in the 1990s and dubbed the film equivalent of the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb were broadcast on BBC Two in January 2005? No, it's the Mitchell and Kenyon collection. 10 points for this. The Office of Secretary of State for which government department was abolished in April 1964? Holders having included John Profumo, Anthony Eden, Winston Churchill and...
Christ's Flint.
Commonwealth Office.
No, you lose 5 points. And Earl Kitchener.
SOAS Ruston.
Secretary of War.
Secretary of State for War is correct, yes. OK, your bonuses are on a political reformer, SOAS. The Rural Rides, first published in book form in 1830, are the work of which radical publisher?
Cobbett.
Cobbett is right, yes. Which institution did Cobbett list under nouns of number or multitude, such as mob, rabble, regiment, court of King's Bench, den of thieves and the like?
No idea, sorry.
It was the House of Commons. Which city did Cobbett refer to disparagingly as the Great Wen?
Manchester.
No, it was London. 10 points for this starter question. What term is used for the moment of a system of forces tending to cause a rotation, as in, for example...
Christ's rush.
Couple.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. The force transmitted from the engine of a motor vehicle to its drive shafts.
SOAS Rennick.
Torque.
Torque is right. Your bonuses, SOAS, are on medicine. Firstly, in medicine, what name is given to the branch of surgery dedicated to the replacement of body parts by artificial parts?
Prosthetics.
Correct. What name is given to the correction of faulty limbs with the aid of external support, such as calipers?
Orthopedics.
No, it's orthotics. What name from its use originally for children is given to the correction of deformities in, for example, spines and joints?
Orthopedics.
That is orthopedics, yes. 10 points for this starter question. Thor with angels, A Phoenix Too Frequent, and The Ladies Not for Burning are among the works of which verse dramatist born in 1907?
SOAS Felon.
Yeats.
No, anyone want to buzz from Christ? It's Christopher Fry. 10 points for this starter question. What name links a large lake in northern Italy with the police force of the Irish Republic?
Christ's Flint.
Garda.
The Garda is correct. Your bonuses are on the novels of Henry James, Christ. Which short novel by Henry James tells of a girl touring Europe who's ostracized by expatriate Americans who see her as immodest and forward? After meeting the young Italian Giovanelli in Rome, she eventually dies of malaria.
Portrait of a Lady.
No, it's Daisy Miller. Which novel tells the story of Isabel Archer, a penniless New York orphan who becomes the protégé of her wealthy aunt, Lydia Touchette?
Portrait of a Lady.
That is Portrait of a Lady. Which novel of 1886 by Henry James is set in New England and is a satirical study of the campaign for women's emancipation?
No, I don't know. No, pass.
That's The Bostonians. 10 points for this. Quote, 90% of them give the other 10% a bad name. To what profession?
SOAS Felon.
Lawyers.
No, but lose 5 points. Was Henry Kissinger referring with these words?
Christ sing a nightgown.
Politicians, yes. How could you possibly not have got it? Right, your questions are on birds. Having the scientific name Merops apiaster, which brightly coloured European bird takes its common name from its diet, which consists mostly of hymenopterous insects?
Flycatcher.
No, it's a bee-eater. What is the common name of Lagopus mutus, a game bird whose legs and toes are covered with feathers to prevent it sinking into soft snow and whose summer plumage turns white in winter?
Ptarmigan.
Correct. What word follows sedge, reed, garden and Dartford in the common names of songbirds of Genesis, Acrocephalus and Sylvia?
Warbler.
Warbler is correct, and we're going to take a second picture round now. You will see a painting of an industrial scene. 10 points if you can give me the name of the artist, please.
SOAS Felon.
Cézanne.
No, anyone want to buzz from Christ?
Christ sing a nightgown.
Picasso is correct, yes. OK, for your picture bonuses, you're going to see 3 more paintings of industrial scenes. Again, I want the name of the artist in each case. Here's the first for 5 points.
Van Gogh.
No, that's Monet. And the second.
Yes, we go. Van Gogh.
No, that's Pissarro. And finally.
That's Van Gogh. That's Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
That is indeed Van Gogh. Yes. OK, 10 points for this. The salts of which metal in solution can be detected by the formation of a white precipitate of the metallic chloride on the addition of...
Christ sing a nightgown.
Silver.
No, you lose 5 points on the addition of hydrogen chloride. You may not confer. One of you may buzz from SOAS.
SOAS Lambert.
Magnesium.
No, it's lead. 10 points for this starter question. On the 31st of May 2005, to which office of the French Republic was Dominique de Villepin...
Christ's Flint.
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister is right. Your bonuses are on aviation in World War I. Firstly, the term pusher was applied to early biplanes such as the Wright Flyer and Vickers FB-5. Why were they so called?
You had to push... You had to push them to get them going?
No, the propeller was behind the wings. Fitted to the Fokker E1, what technology allowed forward-firing guns to be mounted to any aircraft and resulted in German air superiority from the summer of 1915?
Swiveling turrets?
No, it's the thing that stops the gun from shooting the propeller.
Oh, it's just
the interrupter or something.
Interrupter. The interrupter?
The interrupter gear or synchronization gear is correct. An early pioneer of the interrupter gear, which French pilot gives his name to the Paris Stadium, which is the venue for the French Open tennis tournament?
Roland Garros.
Roland Garros.
Roland Garros.
Roland Garros.
That is correct, yes. About 4 and a bit minutes to go. And another starter question. What is x squared multiplied by x cubed?
Price sing an I again.
X to the 5.
X to the power of 5 is right, yes. Here are your bonuses on poetry. Sabrina Fair, listen where thou art sitting, under the glassy, cool, translucent wave, in twisted braids of lilies knitting the loose train of thy amber-dropping hair. These lines appear in a work of 1637 by which poet?
I think Philip Spencer.
Philip Spencer?
Philip Spencer. No. It's John Milton. In the 1633 poem Virtue, what did George Herbert address as so cool, so calm, so bright, the bridal of the earth and sky?
Sun? A rainbow?
No, it's Sweet Day. There's a cool web of language winds us in, retreat from too much joy or too much fear. Who wrote these lines in a poem dated 1927?
Auden?
No, that was Robert Graves. 10 points for this. Iceland's main international airport lies close to which fishing port, a NATO base since 1951 and approximately 30 miles southwest of Reykjavik?
SOAS Ruston.
Keflavik.
Keflavik is correct. Your bonuses are on divination, SOAS. What name is given to the practice of divination by means of fire, especially by means of the shapes observed in fire or in the smoke issuing from it?
Pyromancy.
Correct. Before his victory at the Milvian Bridge in 312, which emperor is said to have seen a flaming cross in the sky, which he interpreted as a sign that he should become a Christian?
Constantine.
Correct. According to the book of Exodus, God spoke to Moses from a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush on the slopes of which mountain?
No, it wasn't Sinai. Sinai?
It was Sinai, yes. 10 points for this. What name is a reference to the agricultural industry and is given to the commercial production of pharmaceuticals from transgenic domesticated farm animals and crops?
SOAS Lambert.
CM Food.
No, anyone want to buzz from Christ? It's farming, but the F spelt with a PH. Right, 10 points of this. Born of a Sardinian father and a Spanish mother, which sportsman grew up, in his own words, in a cave near Marseille, and after a journey via Auxerre, Marseille, Bordeaux and Leeds, joined Manchester United?
SOAS Ruston.
Eric Cantona.
Eric Cantona is correct. Your bonuses are on an astrophysicist, SOAS. Born in Lahore in 1910, which American astrophysicist was the nephew of the Nobel laureate C.V. Raman?
Chandrasekhar.
Correct. The Chandrasekhar limit deems it impossible for what type of star to be stable if its mass is greater than approximately 1.4 times the mass of the Sun?
Red giant. Yellow.
Come on.
Yellow one. Yellow star?
No, it's a white dwarf. From 1937 until his death in 1995, Chandrasekhar worked at which American university? The location of the Yerkes Observatory?
Princeton.
No, it's Chicago. 10 points for this. What word of 4-letter links a hollow cylindrical part that serves as a bearing, an adjective meaning small town or second-rate, a wild uncultivated district in Australia, and a low...
Christ's Rush.
Bush.
Bush is right, yes. Your bonuses are on the theme music of BBC programmes. The opening titles of Monty Python's Flying Circus were usually accompanied by which march by John Philip Sousa? Come on.
No, pass.
That was the Liberty Bell March. BBC Television's The Sky at Night is introduced by At the Castle Gate, part of which longer work by Sibelius?
Finlandia.
Finlandia?
No, it's not. It's Pelléas et Mélisande. And finally, part of which work by Mozart for string orchestra or string quintet, composed in 1787, is used as the theme music for the BBC Radio 4 quiz Brain of Britain?
The Magic Flute.
There's Eine kleine Nachtmusik. 10 points for this in the mammalian heart, and at the Gone, Christ College, Cambridge have 95. The School of African and Oriental Studies have 205. Well, Christ, you didn't disgrace yourselves. There was an awful moment. I thought you were going to end up with a negative score, but you recovered. 95 is all right, but I'm afraid we're going to have to say goodbye to you. SOAS, that was a very impressive performance indeed, and we should look forward to seeing you in round 2 at the very least. I hope you can join us next